Thank you for listening to MichaelFranklinJr.com on Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to MichaelFranklinJr.com. This episode, I wanted to just go in on certain things, talk about the abandonment of manhood and this push that they have called toxic masculinity. I'm looking up, definitions and trying to make sure that I get everything correctly so that everybody will understand what it is I'm talking about. The first thing I want to look up, the definition of manhood and share everybody, what it means for a man to be a man. It says the definition is manhood, the state or period of being a man rather than a child. Men, especially those of a country regarded collectively, qualities traditionally associated with men such as courage, strength, sexual potency, and things like that. So right now, I feel like a lot of manhood is being abandoned. Because of the not only the LGBTQ or whatever, or the agenda that the gender neutrality agenda, but also that men are allowing their manhood to be taken away, especially being married men. The guys and I were having a discussion, and they were talking about how a friend of his, a guy I was talking to was telling me how a friend of his was 43 years old, and he wasn't allowed to have company. His wife wouldn't allow him to have friends come over to visit him. And I think that's overstepping boundaries. I think, if you shouldn't, a man should not be bound by certain things, that's one of them. You should not be able to tell a grown man when he cannot have company. There's also a big push called toxic masculinity. And toxic masculinity is defined by adherence to traditional male gender roles that restrict the kinds of emotional allowability for boys and men to express, including social expressions that men seek to be dominant, the alpha male, and limit their emotional range, primarily to expressions of anger. Which basically says, as a man, you should never be allowed to be angry. And that's ridiculous, If nothing ever makes you angry, then that would show a loss of care. You don't care about things, because if you care about things or care about someone and you see something that's not right, or you see something that, somebody hurts your feelings, men, we get angry, we don't get, the way we express our emotions is we get angry. We don't get sensitive to the point where we cry, some men we cry, and it would have to be something really serious really, really serious to go from anger to crying. And it's man's nature, honestly. I know, they try to say the thing is it's about an alpha male, but it's in a man's nature to get angry when he feels threatened, slighted, beaten. Um, we're natural hunters. We were the provider for the family. We were the provider for the family. So if we see something that is going to stop that, or if we can't live up to, being the man that we're supposed to be, we get angry, and anger fuels a lot of things. Anger fuels. You can be intelligent and angry. You can get different things out of anger. You can learn how to deal with different problems, and you have to fight through it sometimes. And I know even the toxic masculinity may use the word fight. Don't fight. There's certain things that you have to stand up and fight for as a man. They say that there's no reason ever that you should ever hit a woman. That makes a lot of sense. You should never hit a woman, but you shouldn't allow anyone to hit you. You shouldn't allow certain things that women do to happen. So no, there's no reason that you should ever hit a woman. However, there's some certain things that you shouldn't allow women to do either. Everybody has boundaries. Everybody has to live by these boundaries. And right now, they're taking away a lot of the boundaries that we have been living with for forever, from what I know of. So I just wanted to discuss that and talk about being, men. We have to be real men. We have to stop allowing these women to just dictate everything that we do, telling us that we're not allowed to do certain things. Get your, put your pants back on. Me being a man, I had to go through certain things in my marriage. In order to do that, I had to fight. I had to fight for to fight for my children, fight for the right to hang out with my kids and take care of my kids. And, that's something that you have to fight for, especially when you're dealing with a woman and you're not with that woman, or you choose to go your own way. So I had to fight. I had to fight a long time. I had to fight to get custody of my son. I had to fight to get joint legal custody of my daughters. And I just don't like to allow someone else to dictate what I can and cannot do. And I wouldn't overstep anyone else's boundaries. I wouldn't tell them what they can and cannot do. So I feel it's absolutely right that I should be able to do what I choose to do as well. So, and then another thing that men, another abandonment of men is not being able to confront someone personally. Right now, we're going through a situation where we found out some information about someone named, I'm going to name his name, Kurt Harris. We found out some information about a company that he bought. He took it over, called Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers. Somebody came to me and wanted to share some information online about the company. They provided me with the information. I created a website and posted the information, and then the person disappeared. I don't know what happened. I've been trying to call the person. They're not being, I'm not being able to contact the person anymore. So it seems to me like they chickened out. So, but after posting the information and sharing the information online, I got a summons. You know, guy wanted to sue me rather than talk to me, rather than, you know, come and try to find out, you know, personally where I got the information. Now, if you bring the courts into a situation, then I feel like I should not help, I should not help his case, which I have no problem admitting the things that I've done, me, myself personally, because I am a man. You know, I've already admitted that I was the guy who posted the information. I've also spoken and told him I'm not the person who wrote the information. The information was given to me from someone else, and I don't feel that I should have to reveal who the information came from. It's not my job to prove your case. It's your job to prove your case, and I'm not going to help in any way, form, or fashion to prove your case. You did discovery, and you found out that it was that I was the person who posted the information, and I was the owner of the domain name that was abandoned by you. And I know you may be listening right now because you're trying to follow me and you're trolling me. So this is dedicated to you, sir. And we could have sat down and actually had a real conversation if the conversation would have, between two men would have been handled correctly. He sent me a letter basically saying, give up, but just like this thing that's going on with Byron Allen. He said, give up your source and I might let you out of this case. And I'm like, no, I don't have to give up my source. All the information, and I found out that the information that was posted was either true or a matter of opinion. So now it's to the point where I'm becoming a whistleblower, and now if the burden of proof is on you, you have to prove that the information that was posted is either false or just a matter of defamation, and there's no way to prove that. So let's go to trial. We're going to end up going to court and finding out if the information is true or not. So if you guys are listening, if you're listening to the show right now, please call in. Give me your opinions on the abandonment of manhood, on what you feel that men should, how you feel that men should be, or if you feel that manhood should just be abandoned, period, and guys just start crying and allowing women to dictate what a man is and what a man can do. I don't think that women should be allowed to dictate what a man is and what a man do. There's a song, "Can't Raise a Man." You're right. You probably can't raise a man. Only a man can raise another man. So maybe you should let your baby's father take care of the baby again, or send the baby with the baby father, especially if it's a young man. You can raise a woman if you're a woman, if you know how to be a woman. So, there's certain situations that I would like to, I just want to discuss it with people and see how other people feel about it, because right now manhood is under attack, and I'm willing to lead the fight. I'm not afraid to lead the fight. I'm a man, so I just don't want men to be taken away, men to be beaten down like they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy manhood. with mixing of the genders, and it's just all type. I know I'm all over the